Yeah. So just Gerard, because today we decided that there are a few queries from some of you, and yes, he had joined. Okay, good. Gerard?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can.
Yes, I will say a few words first about some confusion about the many sites of the heritage platform, and they don't behave in the same way. So this is rather confusing, and some explanation is necessary.
Yeah.
Now, let me see.
In just 1 minute, I think you do not have the share option. I'm giving you the share option. Yes.
Can you see now?
Not yet. Yeah, we can see your screen now.
All right. Yes. Okay, so here in this window, you see the official site at INRIA, which you get by the URL I gave you, sanskrit.inria.fr. Yes, and here you get the French site. It says FR, and it does not mean the page is in French, the page is in English. What it means is that the dictionary access is by default to my French dictionary. Okay, but you can change it to Monier-Williams in the reader, as we shall see. So here, if I go in the reader, yes, and I ask for that, for instance. Oh, this will be understood because it is set up at installation time in such a way that it will read Welthuis convention. And lexicon access will be on heritage, and the display font of the Sanskrit will be IAST, the romanization. Okay, so when you enter that, you get that with, which is it's a form of pronoun tad, and here you're in the French dictionary. Donc, pour cette raison, alors, and so on. Okay. So this is the default setting. Yes. If you don't want this setting, you can change it here. If you want to have Devanagari printing, if you want to have Monier-Williams access, then same. But now, when you access the item, you're in the English dictionary. Okay, so you have both possibility, but by default, when you enter here, you get access to the French and not to, so it's the default behavior, but the other behaviors are adjustable on the fly. Now, I gave another link, which is initialized to different default parameters. Yes, this is Heritage English. So it's almost the same, yes, but here you have English. Okay, and now when you enter the reader, see the lexicon access by default is Monier-Williams. Okay, but Sanskrit display font is still AIST, and input convention is still Welthuis. Okay, so so there are these three parameters. Yes, but you have only two access links. I did not build all the combinatorics. Yes, you have to set it up on the fly. Now, this is the mirror site on University of Hyderabad. See, it's sanskrit.uohid.he.in/Sanskrit, SKT. Okay. So, many of you were confused because they started using this site and they would get the French meaning. Why? Because it was initiated to the French settings so that you would have lexicon access to my dictionary, not to the English one. So this was up until about 1 hour ago when I signaled the problem to Madam. And now she has reinstalled the Sanskrit Heritage site, and hopefully it will lead to the English meaning. Let us check that. Yes, see, when you're going into the reader on this mirror site, then you get by default access to Monia-Williams. Okay? So now, if you enter that, then this will not work, yes, because you're not in the right input convention. Here, this is WX, okay? So you have to input it the WX way, and it will display Devanagari by default here. So, wow. Wow, it's a stat, yes. And when you go to that, then you're in the English dictionary, okay? So the problem that you had using this site was that it was wrongly configured for the default parameters, yes? But now it's configured so that you have access to Monia-Williams, and the input default convention is WX, okay? But if you want, you can change everything, yes? You can go back to Beltuist and enter that, and you get that, okay? All right. So this should clear a little bit of the confusion, but not completely. I see that some hands are raised, but I want to finish this explanation, because here you have the link to corpus. And the corpus was initially designed with access in French and printing in romanization. But a week ago, I changed it for the convenience of the Indian users of the site. Yes, and here we have to go on the English link. Yes, now when we go on the corpus reader, heritage citations, okay, so it still prints in romanization on this initial page, but as soon as you click, then you get Devanagari. Yes, and when you access the dictionary, you'll get the English one. Okay, so this should clear many of the questions concerning the different behavior of the sites. I see still there are some hands raised, so maybe I will answer these questions. Please, Soda Yarpragna.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
First of all, I would like to the site in blue color so we can touch and it can be open, because sometimes it is not opening. So I want that type of site. Number one. Number two. You
No,
have
I've
shown
not
this-
understood so number one, please.
Number one, site URL हमारा जो ये है उसके they have given the site, but site we cannot directly open. So if it is in blue color, then we can touch and site will be open. Most of all sites are like that only. So this site is not like that only. So I am not able to it open very easily.
Madam, I could not follow your question. You just have to type in the URL and you can get access to it. That's it.
Let
I
me
know.
let me
Yeah.
clarify by giving again the URLs. Yes, this is the Sanskrit heritage site, the normal one, which is English. This is the same with access to English Monia-Williams dictionary by default. So I've
But
shown this
what
two
my
sites.
point is, what is
And
my
this
point?
is the Samsadani on this server. But if you want to use the mirror Sanskrit heritage site, the one I showed here, this is the URL. So what I don't understand in your question, madam, is the blue color. What blue color are you talking about?
नहीं मैडम मैं क्या बोलना चाहती हूँ कि जनरली ऑल साइट्स आर कमिंग इन ब्लू कलर मतलब यू कैन टच एंड साइट विल ओपन ये वी हैव नॉट टू टाइप इन दिस URL. So without typing URL, you can touch on that site and site will be automatic open.
एक मिनट मैडम, टच आप कहाँ करेंगे?
ये
Please,
साइट
please,
आप
आप
जो
बोलने
ब्लैक कलर में
I think
Madam,
madam,
Please,
excuse me,
English.
he is saying it is not hyperlinked. There is no hyperlink,
Madam.
only it is text address is available.
madam, you please write to me and I will answer your question. See,
And
there
number-
is nothing like you just touch means you have a link and then you click on that link.
हाँ तो वो
Okay.
लिंक आता है ना तो उसके ऊपर क्लिक होके
So,
हो
but
जाना
that
चाहिए
link, madam, that link we have given to you.
पर वो
See,
नहीं ओपन होती
for
है
Samsadani, the way you enter Samsadani, similarly here you have to enter some other website. That's it. You need to remember that URL and you can bookmark it. Okay.
Yes.
और दूसरा
Oh,
सेकंड
Okay,
थिंग
so I understand the question now. Yes. See, madam, when you're on your navigator, you can type
second
in
you
the
have
URL.
shown that you have
Yes.
shown tat in this segment. So what shows tat उसका analysis क्या हुआ? What happened? Tat shows तो is what analysis we have done from this link?
You are getting the morphological analysis of the word tat. That's it.
अच्छा, so we can do sandhis and
Yes, you can enter any text. It will segment it and then show the morphological analysis of each of the segments.
okay,
Okay.
I will try.
Okay, now Chandru Sharma, G, you have a question?
Yeah, good evening, Professor. The question was when you went to any site, particularly in English, and you go to corpus, will you show me the how do you get the Devanagari script itself in the corpus?
Okay. Today I'm going to demonstrate the small story in the corpus. So this will hopefully answer the question. If again you don't understand, then read the question again at the time, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. So actually, this corpus mode, yes, is what? Now I don't know which site I want to show and in which navigator. So let me see. I think I'm going to use the going to start again. And I'm going to use the heritage English one. Yes. And I'm going in corpus mode with a reader. So what I want to show is this little story, Qatar. etc., of Vikrama-Charitam. So it's there is only one. This is the 24th chapter of the work, and here we are. Now, now you're seeing it in AIST because it's not completely parameterized. I should give the choice of a parameter, but now when you click on the sentence, then you see it in Devanagari. Yes, all the padas are listed in Devanagari. And when you click on the links, you get access to the English dictionary. Okay, so this should be less confusing. Now the exercise, it's a very simple text. So I apologize for the one among you who are already fluent in Sanskrit. You will get a little bit bored, yes? But for the one who are beginners, then we have a chicken and egg problem. Is that it's easy to understand how to use the segmenter if you know the basic vocabulary, so you will not have to look up every single word in the lexicon. Yes. But it's harder to use if you don't have the vocabulary. Now, how do you acquire the vocabulary? You acquire the vocabulary by reading texts with a reader. Okay, so we have this this kind of chicken and egg problem. Yes. So, so the problem is bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means you may start without knowing any vocabulary. So you will have to look up the dictionary, but progressively you will acquire the vocabulary, and you will not need anymore to look up the dictionary except in words that you are unfamiliar with. All right. So the exercise will be to read progressively the text, and the text has been pre-segmented. Like here, there is no choice, it shows unique solution. But in the other window, I shall show how to segment it to arrive to this meaning. So here I shall actually use still another version, the one that is on my station, yes, where I will be quicker reading it in romanization and quicker at understanding the meanings in the French dictionary. Okay, so this exercise you should do, but of course not on my site, on the English site, either the English on my server or the English one in the University of Hyderabad site. So here we go on this sentence. I click it, I copy it, I paste it here. Now the input convention is Devanagari. Yes, I will see it in romanization, and I will have access to heritage. For you, you will have access to Monier-Williams if you prefer. Okay, so now you see that we have to do the work of segmenting. Okay, we have 4,000 solutions, and the goal is to get at this one. Okay, so here, Samabut, it's already selected. So maybe we want to understand what it means first. I went a little bit over this first sentence beginning of the week. Yes, so I told you a little bit about Vikramacharita. Let me see. This text is taken from this Vikramacharita, which is a prose work that for which we don't know the author actually, and it's some kind of fairy tales story that concerns a very old king, Vikramaditya, who is the Sun King in the Indian tradition. If you go to my French dictionary, you will have some, let me see. Let's forget about the historical description. Let me see. This is this Vikramaditya is historically Chandragupta II of the Gupta dynasty, yes, which should not be confused with Chandragupta Maurya, of course, which is much older. So this Chandragupta II is a very powerful king who united most of North India, and is part of the legend. So there are all kinds of legends about him, and this text is part of the legend. So the story, it's like, you know, Panchatantra. You have a frame story and then small stories inside of the frame story. The frame story is that it is telling how good, how generous a king was Vikramaditya. So, and the story takes place many centuries later at the court of Bojadeva. Bojadeva was another king who was also reigning in Ujjayini, yes. And the story is that when he wanted to sit on the throne of Vikramaditya, then the statues of the throne would protest and say, yeah, are you good enough to sit on that throne? So each of the story is a story about the generosity of the king. All right. So now let us try to understand. So this is Shashti of Vikramaditya. Okay, the Vikramaditya is the king. Here it's not very informative in Monier-Williams. It says see below. Here, Vikramaditya. Okay, so Vikramaditya in the 6th Shashti Vikramaditya. Yes, so no, I'm going very slowly in all details here, trying to justify, okay? So this is a genitive Shashti. So it means of Vikramaditya. And Rajya is Raja, yes, which is realm. Here, kingship, sovereignty, empire, rule, government. It's the realm. And it's see, it's in the Saptami,
Tamil.
seventh. So it means locative. So it means in the realm of Vikramaditya. Here, Samabu, this is a form of root bu. Bu is to become, and now bu is prefixed by this preverb sam, and here if you click you get to bu, but you don't have a direct access to Samabu. Here on if you look instead in the French dictionary, then you will have a lot more structure. The advantage of the French is not so much that it's in French, is that it's an hypertext dictionary with lots of links. So you can navigate in it. So for instance, in entry Bu, one is Buadi, Ghana. And here you have the Sam. And by clicking on Sam, then you go directly on Sanbu, which is to have birth, to happen, to manifest itself. So it's a slight difference in meaning from Bu, but you have to understand this hour. And hour is aorist, and it's a past tense, which is not very common. Let me try to find. Aorist is lung, and lung is glossed by the grammarian as butesha. Butesha means which governs the past. So it's a past tense. Okay, so it means here it existed. And the use of aorist is a kind of old style. So I would translate this sentence by once upon a time, there was a city called Purandarapuri in the realm of Vikramaditya. Okay? So if you want to translate in English, it's better usually to go from right to left. So now, the exercise consists in getting the right segmentation. Okay, and now that you understand the sentence, you don't have to click on dictionary and so more. So you have just to understand here how to click on the various rectangles in order to get the correct meaning. And I gave this heuristic, click on the first line, and here it works. See, this is the bigger one, so it's the most plausible. So you click, and all the noise vanishes. Okay, so I call this mode of operation Matsya Nyaya. Matsya is fish, and Nyaya is saying or logic. The logic of the fish is that big fish eats small fish. Yes. Okay, so this is the same thing here. Big segments, they bleed small segments. Okay, so here you don't have to think so much. Purandarapuri, and now you have the choice between this feminine form of Pura in the nominative pratama and so on. Or this one, it's green, so it's a vocative. So you're not talking to the city, yes? So many of these vocatives, they have to be discarded. All right. Now here you have this choice between a tinanta and a subanta, and here you have to take the subanta because you want the realm, yes, and not the verbal form. And here you have to learn this grammatical construction with nama indeclinable, which means by name. And then it is before it, you have the name you want to use. All right. So see, this is the way I obtained this. Okay, so the exercise is to read the story progressively. Progressively means in the corpus mode, click and continue reading and go to the next sentence. Then click. Then you get the correct analysis with Devanagari printing, with access to Monier-Williams, so that you can understand what it means if you don't know the vocabulary. And then in the other window, you use the reader and you try to get the same analysis, or you see what are the various analyses that are proposed. Okay, so I'm going to read here because this is easier for me. For you, it will be Devanagari. So Asti is, yes, but the first word is Tatra, which is location, there. Mahadanika. Oh, here this is a compound. Danik, it's rich. Here, if you ask for Danika, you'll get it in the English one. Yes, wealthy, opulent. So this is pratama. So pratama means this rich person, yes, is the agent, is the one who is. And Mahadanika is very rich, very rich. Oh, and here you see this phenomenon of the parasitic that I told you about. See, this is the case that you will encounter very often of a pada that ends with long R and the next word starts with a consonant. Yes, and if it's a subanta, a nominal one, then there is a possibility of negating it with this a privative prefix. And now this a is lost in the long R. See, so in order to not get the negative meaning, you have to kill explicitly the A. And now you have Mahadanika. Very rich. So very rich. Very rich what? Very rich. Vanik. And Vanik here, again, this is not a vocative. Here we are not addressing the merchant. We are talking about this merchant, Vanij. Vanij is the Pradipadika, he is a merchant, yes. And this J of the Pradipadika becomes a K in Pratama. Okay, so don't be surprised about it. See, this is why in the Sandhi rules I did not talk about how to do Sandhi with J, because J will turn according to the same, either to a K or a T, and but it will never be the end of a pada. The pada is, the Pradipadika is Vanij, but the pada in Pratama is Vanik. Okay, now about this Kashit. Kashit, it's actually an abbreviation for Kashit, and it means any, a certain. Okay, so in this city, there is a merchant. There is a certain merchant who is very rich. See? So you see, this is extremely simple. And my guess is that if you go here and ask the parser in U of H analysis mode, then it will correctly analyze it, and you will get the complete semantic analysis. So I'm not demonstrating that now. I'm not doing it. We continue reading. We continue reading. And there, what we get is Dasya Chatvaraha Putraha Santi. So Santi, it's as, it's to be, but now in the plural, Bahuvachana. Yes, and still Pratama. And so they are. Who are they? They are Putraha, the sons. And how many are there? Chatvara, 4. Tasya, this is Shashti of Tad, so it's of his. So these are the sons of, this is a pronoun that refer to the previous sentence for Vanik. Okay, so now that we have understood, there he has 4 sons. Okay, so now I continue the exercise here on the reader. I will input the sentence. And here, again, you have to look for Tinanta Santi. So it's here, this would be a present participle. Here, this would be a vocative. Yes, so here it's Santi. So from Santi, you know what the agent is, at least from the point of view of its person, Pratama, and of its number, Bahuvachana. So now you're looking. This is this Socratic method. You're asking questions. Yes. So they are. Who are they? Oh, they are the Putras. Yes. Here you want the Pratama Putras. Yes. And here, this is in agreement. Chatvara, it's Pratama, Bahuvachana, Pumlinga. So it's a qualifier of Putra. This is Vishesha, this is Visheshana. Okay, and this is this this pronoun that refers to the valley. Okay, so maybe here when I was preparing this course, I was looking, everything is fine. So here we have Chatur. We have Chatur in Monier-Williams, it means 4, yes. Oh, but here, if you press this M, then you get all kinds of nonsense. This is wrong. This is plain wrong. Whereas here, if I press on Chatur, then I have this special mark, which means, oh, this is a numeral. And numerals have their own way of doing Vibhakti. And see, this Chatur is 4, so it's always in Bahuvachana. This is absurd. And furthermore, this nominative plural here, it says Chatura, and it's not, it's Chatwara. Okay, so this shows that the Monier-Williams dictionary is not completely well adapted to our grammatical tools. Yes, only the French dictionary is completely adapted and checked and is reliable for the Vibhakti. Here you may run into this kind of problems. Sorry about that. And now we can continue. Yes. So now that you understand, here we have some difficulty. Why is this wrongly analyzed? I don't know. But here, if we go on the reader, we'll see how to fix it. Yes. Let me see. Let's start with data then. Mahati Kare Gachati. So, here we have this problem of Gachati between Tinanta and Gachati as a present participle, going. And so I told you, you will get this kind of ambiguities, and most often it's going to be the Tinanta, he goes, yes, but sometimes it may be the present participle going, and here this is what's needed, it's in the locative, yes, and here we have a locative clause, which is some kind of contextual phrase initially in the sentence. So this is very common that the Sanskrit sentence starts with some kind of saptami phrase, yes, which gives the context. So here we have this 3 blue padas, which are all saptami, locative. So it means after going a long time. So the kara is time. So here we have the choice between time and the adjective black. Here we want time. And Mahati is the locative Saptami of Mahat. So after a long time, Savanik, this merchant, Vridaha, this is again Pratama, so it's Visheshana of Visheshya, Vanik. This merchant, Vrida, became old. Vrida like Vridi, yes, it's aging, Vridi. Vrida is becoming big, old, aged, old, Vrida. So this Vanij, this merchant became old and Vyadita. So here we have a little hesitation. There are two blue Vyaditas, and one which is meant is here, it's sick. So it's actually Taditanta. So it's built on Vyadi, which is pain or disease. Vyadi. So Vyadita is who became sick. So this is the one we want. And frankly, I don't know. I will have to fix that tonight. It's probably some change I did recently, which was wrong. All right. Now, Marana Samaye. Marana is death. Yeah, if you don't know, if you don't know the meaning, you go in the dictionary, you see death, and it's an action word, so to speak, of mur, which is to die. Riyate, atmanipade, to die. So, Marana is death. Yes. And now we have a compound Marana Samaye. This is Saptami again, locative in time now. It's it means death coming, and so he is on his deathbed. Yes, the time of the time of dying has come. And now we have this here this Ahuya, who is to invoke, to invite, and very often with the preverb ah. So this is to call, to make a convocation, to invite. So on his deathbed, he invited who? His 4 sons. So again, Matsya, you take the longer one. Yes. And now this is absolutive. Absolutive, here it's liap. Yes. So, so it means yeah, we can go to absolutive in the indeclinable forms. Yes. And there are 2 forms, the form for the root ou, toi, and the form for the verb with a preverb. It's ouya, so it's ouya. All right. So this absolutive clause is most of the sentence, yes. So he called his 4 sons, and then he said about it. So again, it's aoris, so it means in the past. It's pratama, it's he, the Vani. At his deathbed, he called his 4 sons and he told them. So you see, if you're a total beginner, then it will take you a long time to click on the dictionary and so on. But this story is pretty good for beginners because it introduces to a lot of usual vocabulary. Okay. So now I'm going a little bit faster. Oh, we have vocative here. He is addressing his sons. Bo putra, oh my sons. Mayi mritiye, again locative saptami. At my death. Bhavatam chaturnam. You four gentlemen. Yes. Ekatra. Avasanam. Bhavati. So this is kind of a complicated word, avastanam. If you click on avastanam, you get standing, taking up one's place, situation, condition. So it's their condition. So here, this is a way of saying, if you, ekatra is in one way, so it's built on ek, which is one, with suffix tra, which means an adverb. So in one manner. So if you keep your estate in one manner, va, na, va. Va is or, na is not. Or, not or means maybe. Va, na, va. So it's a colloquial expression. You have to get used to it. Va, na, va. Maybe. Pascha. Oh, this is indeclinable. Avyaya. Here it means later. Later. Really. Vada bhavishyati. Vada is argumentation. And bhavishyati is a future of what bhu, which is to become. So the Vanik is telling his son, if you keep the property undivided, then maybe there will be a disagreement between you, and maybe some quarrel will happen. Okay. So I guess I will stop this exercise here. We have done 5 sentences. So what I propose is that you read slowly the sentence and you look up the dictionary until you understand. Or else, if you're already acquainted with all the vocabulary, you just go quickly through the story. And then when you have understood the story, then you get it as exercise in order to get the correct segmentation. Okay? And here, of course, you will not go into the French access. You will go directly inputting Devanagari, looking at Monia Williams, and displaying in Devanagari. Yes. And so for each sentence, you get this little puzzle, you try to solve it. Once you understand the basic meanings, then you will quickly understand where to click here by Matsanyaya and so on and so forth. And so you will acquire this ability of quickly going through these diagrams and segmenting the sentence into a fully segmented and tagged one. So that later on you can call the parser and get the dependency parser and the full meaning. Okay, so is that clear? Are there any questions?
I have a quick question, Professor. I noticed the sentences jump from past tense aorist to present tense.
Yes.
That's just typically the way they write stories, or I'm just curious.
Let me see. I mean, this text was not written by Kalidas. Yes, obviously, and actually,
Yeah.
we don't know who is the author of the story, and there are 4 versions of the story, and it's not quite very smooth Sanskrit. So you have this alternance of tenses, yes. So it jumps from past. Now we are in the present. It's a little lively story. Okay, so it jumped from kind of past presentation into a more lively story. Things are happening, and see, this is it's like a detective story. What's happening? See, this merchant is going to die. He's advising his sons to do the sharing of his heritage so that they don't go into disputes. And so he does the sharing of the property, but nobody understands. And so it's like a little mystery novel, you know, what is going on? How can you understand this heritage? Okay, so I chose the story also for that, yes, so that you have a little suspense and you will be eager to understand the puzzle, to understand what is the solution of this strange inheritage sharing. But
Thank
this
you.
is not-
Yeah.
This is not a very good literary text, that's for sure.
So I have just another quick question. So if I have a story, a separate story, and I use the reader and so on to
Yes.
input my little sentence,
Yes.
will it will still break it down and this way, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I can do a sentence. Okay, thank you.
Sure. I mean,
I'll try it. Thank you.
you can go, for instance, on Gretel. Gretel. It's a German site, Göttingen, where you have lots of text. Okay, so I don't know. We can go into epics. Mahabharata or Ramayana. Okay, and now you click on one of the texts, and here you have some sentences. This is some part of Ramayana. Yes, so you can click and take the sentence. Yes. And now in the reader, you input the sentence. Yeah, I'm not cheating. I've not tried this before. But here you have to be careful about what is the input convention. Here, obviously, it's IAST. Yes. If you want to look at it in Devanagari here, if you want to look at it in Monier there, now you click. And now you get the segmentation that is proposed by the segmenter. Okay, and so you can play the game and try to get the this is, I don't know, this is objective and Maharishi, yeah. That I'm not sure about this one. Okay, so here you have your segmentation. See, so this sentence came out of nowhere. Yeah. So the sentence don't have to be picked on my little corpus site. You can pick it up on the giant Gretel repository. I don't know. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So if you know well Sanskrit already, that's the preferred way. Yes, you go into some site which has already all the text prepared in a way that is digitally processable. Yes. Now you cut and paste, and you proceed. Yes.
And can I type in a sentence, my own sentence?
Yes, you can type in your own sentence.
Hopefully without mistakes. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Here, you will have to put it at whatever convention you're familiar with. Yes. So
yeah.
So if you have a Devanagari keyboard, then the best is Devanagari. Yes. I don't have a Devanagari keyboard, so I'm inputting into my own notation. You can input in WX, whatever. Here I'm typing in WX. Yes. Okay. So the system doesn't care where the text is coming from. Yes, you can type it in any convention, or you can take it from the net and some already digitally recorded corpus.
Thank you, Professor.
And a few days ago, you asked whether we could process whole text. So the answer is no at this moment. You have to process it one sentence at a time. Yes. But one day when the tools will be ready and we will get the most preferred sentence in one gulp, then we'll give a facility by which you could read a full text. But we are not yet there.
Thank you, Dr. Hewitt. You have done an excellent job, both you and Dr. Kulkarni, an excellent job. I tried some verses from Narayaniam, which is pretty complex, and yes, I got impressive results. I am very, very impressed. Of course, there are rudimentary, it is rudimentary, a lot of work needs to be done. But thank you so much for giving a new direction into this program. Okay, you have made Sanskrit learning a great fun here. Okay, with this tool, excellent work. That said, I have a quick question for you, Doctor. These color codes, do you have a synopsis? Do you have a list of color codes where I can understand what this pink stands for and what this magenta stands for?
Yes. Okay.
I did go to help, but I didn't find it.
Okay, so that's a good question. I have two answers to this question. One is to go in the corpus and
And that's my second question. Here
And
I
the
get
hoisting the colors. Please, I answer the first one first. Hoisting the colors. So hoisting the colors is a very special small corpus in order to identify the colors. Okay? Varshati, Stinanta, it's red. Avarsha Rudiram. You have Tinanta, Vavarsha, perfect, and blue Subanta. So Subanta is blue. Okay, so if you go through this very little corpus, you will see all the colors
Okay.
in all their.
So now I
uses.
get for Bhimo Rudiram Pibati. There I'm getting Bhimaha Rudiram Pibati. So Bhimaha and Rudiram, both I'm getting blue. Why is both blue? Go to the third sentence. Yeah, Bhimo Rudiram Pibati.
Yes.
Why is Bhimaha and Rudiram both blue?
Okay, so they are both blue because they are Subanta. The red is Tinanta. So it's a verb form.
Okay. That brings
Pibati
me to the
is
next-
drinking. These
that
two
brings me to the
are
next-
blue. Just a moment. These two are blue just because they are Subanta. Yes.
Okay. Why aren't they in
Subtinantam padam. Subtinantam padam. It says word can be blue or red. Okay, so here you have two blue. Why? Because one is in karma, it's vidya, it's what is drunk, it's blood, yes, and the other one is agent, so it's pratama. So he is the one who's drinking. Bhima is drinking the blood. Okay, now your puzzlement is probably that in Sansadani, the Subantas have various colors according to their vibhakti. Okay, so in certain listings of the Sansadani, these two will turn into two different colors. The Tinanta will still be red, but the Subanta will be according to their vibhakti. Okay, whereas.
So can I get a clarification here, Doctor? So the clarification here I would like to see is the first, Prathama Vibhakti, it will be in the first line. The Dvitiya Vibhakti is in the second line. Tritiya Vibhakti will be in the third line. Am I correct?
The
Now,
vibhakti.
Bhimaha and Rudiram are not in the same line, same row.
Yeah. No, this has nothing to do with morphology. The row is thus in such the graphic rendering is such that we try to get you the longest word as high as possible. Okay, but here you have some clash on the O. See, it's Bhimaha and Rudiram, so aha and Ru becomes Oru. Okay, so this O here is shared between the two. So since the rectangles are aligned on this upper line, so sometimes the rectangles they get displaced so that they don't run into each other. But this has nothing to do with vibhakti. Nothing to do with vibhakti. The vibhakti you get by clicking on the rectangle, and now you get the lemma of the pada. That is, it's pradipadika and it's vibhakti. Okay, so same here. If I click on the rectangle, yes, I have Rudira, pradipadika, and here it's vibhakti. It's possible vibhakti, see? Rudiram could be pratama of Napum, or it could be Karta of Napum, or it could be Karma of Pumlinga. So here you have the three possibilities. Okay. So it's, if you want to have the final unique vibhakti, I showed how to do that in this other interface, which proposes you various vibhaktis. So here it has suggested Bhima as Pratama because there is no choice. Here for Rudiram, you have to click on one of the possible vibhaktis. Now Rudiram has blood. So it's an adjective which means red, but as a noun, it's neuter. So here you should click on the napum indication. Yes, and here this is what is being drunk. So it's not pratama, it's vitiya. Okay. So here, see, this is in French, it corresponds to the role. It's either the subject in neuter or object in neuter or masculine. Okay, so here, this is the only selection I need to do. And now, if I submit, then I have the unique Padapata, yes, with a unique tag. So this is the final analysis.
Can you go back to the previous screen, please? Just one slide back, previous screen, yeah. What does that 1.1, 2.1, 3.1 stand for? What do they signify?
Well, this is when you have homonyms. So the second numeral is for homonyms. If you try it with Kalaha, you have two homonyms, it's time and color. So here you will have two choices, 2.1 and 2.2. Don't worry too much about that. Okay, this is mostly for debugging.
Okay.
Okay.
And one final question.
And once, so I showed how to get the unique solution using your parsing tool. But here you have some Samsadhani, see, so you can submit it to Samsadhani. There is this magic bridge between my segmenter and Samsadhani's parser. So see here on the line, you see that it's scratching its head with the parser, and hopefully it will arrive at some proposal. Yes, all right. So now we're on Samsadhani and all the morphology has been pre-computed, and you can even look here and see, oh, yes, the karta is Bhimaha, yes, and the karma is Rudiram. And here is, see, this is exactly why you were confused with my outlay, is that in the segmenter, both Bhimaha and Rudiram are blue. They are blue because they are Subanta. But here in this interface, you have the same 14, they are red, but the Subantas have colors that depends on their vibhakti. So here this Bhima is blue because it's Karta, and this Rudiram is green because it's Karma. Okay, so you should not be confused about the color code. The color codes are a little bit different. In my system, the color codes are the lexical categories, like nouns, verbs, adverbs, whereas in Madame system, they are more precise and they indicate the vibhakti, because the vibhakti is what you need in order to know the karaka. Yes, you have this karaka analysis where you assign karaka to vibhakti. Here, Pratama gives you karta. Why? Because we are in Kartari Prayoga. Yes, somewhere here. Yes, Kartari. Kartari, that blah, blah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, sir. Only one last question. In the reader, I see more options now. You told, when you were teaching us, you told us you would find only one option. But now I see 3, 4 options, annotator and something else. What does that mean? When I go to the corpus reader,
You mean here?
corpus reader, when I go to capacity, I see annotator and manager as well. Yep, there you go. Yeah.
Oh. Now,
Because
if you're,
I remember you telling us that you would see only one.
yes. So, you're very attentive, madam. Here, I'm on the public site. This is a public site at this counter. You cannot miss it. Okay, now if I go into corpus, then I see reader, and that's it. There is no other choice. Only you can read. Only you can read. But here, I'm on my local machine. And on the local machine, I can annotate and I can manage a corpus. Okay. So you have more possibilities if you install the software on your own server, because now you can create the corpus and you can modify the corpus. On the public machine, the corpus is preset. Yes, you cannot change the global database that is readable by everyone. I don't want any random person to change the corpus under my feet. So
Gerard?
if you want to manage the corpus, add more sentences and modify them, so you need all these capabilities, and these capabilities you will get if you install the whole system on your own server.
Shall I interfere?
Yes.
On University of Hyderabad server, the mirror site, we have all the 3 options. I think
Correct.
it's,
Correct.
it's
Hmm.
because of that she's asking. So I need to stop those things. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Fine.
you.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to play around with something and then mess
Yeah,
up your.
I will close those 2
Okay.
options.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Because I was planning to play around today. I
No,
didn't want
don't play with those
to.
options.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Okay. Shankari, you have a question, Shankari?
Yes, I don't know how to go to the Sanskrit phraser assistant. How did you go to that page?
Which one?
So from the
Parser
From-
assistant.
sorry, yeah. So I think when we were using the tool, segmenter tool, we did go to the Sanskrit parser assistant, if I'm pronouncing that right,
Oh, okay.
where it gave us an object, subject, compound, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so let me show again. All right. All right. So here, when you arrive to the point, I mean, I covered that on Wednesday, the various ways to switch to the parser. Here, if you click on Unix solution, then you get this interface where you can settle the last details in order to have a unique VBACT. Here it's done. Here it's done. You don't have to. There is no choice, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
can go here. If you submit your final analysis, then you get to this terminal page where you have the text analyzed, and every pada has its Pradipadika and its VBACT. Okay, so you can record this on your site and proceed. But there is another way to get out of this page is by calling Samsadani, and now you'll get the Samsadani parser. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Hadidi.
Yes, you mentioned now and also previously that once one arrives at the final analysis, one can save it. How does one do that?
Well, you save it by whatever command of your navigator. Okay, well, when you're on your navigator on any page, yes, you can you can register it under a certain form, and it depends what is it depends on your navigator. See, mine proposes a HTML as a source of the page. You can store it as a web archive. If you're on Chrome, you have more possibilities. Yes, because you can ask, for instance, for printing, and on printing, you can ask to print it in PDF. Okay, here it is register in the PDF format, and then you'll get a PDF. So these are commands of the navigator.
Okay, thank you.
Another way to keep it, of course, is to use your operating system commands to store the contents of a page. Like here, if on my Mac machine, I can always grab any window. Yes, and now it's saved somewhere on my machine. Probably here as an image. Oops, here it is. See, but it's an image now. You cannot do anything but print it. Okay? Yeah, what you want to do rather is to save it as a web page or save it as a PDF document. Okay, but this has nothing with our system. These are capacities of your navigator and of your operating system, how to copy web pages.
Thank you.
Now that all questions are over, two announcements. First one is we will have the discussion session tomorrow at the same time, and I will be sending a link for that. Of course, it's there in LearnX, but still I will send a link to everybody today. The second thing is regarding the minor exam. So on 13th, we will be posting the question paper, and there will be around 10 days window for answering this question paper. The syllabus is whatever we covered in the minor exam after that. So I think it's from 12th, 15th or 17th of November till today, whatever we have covered. So it's Krudanta, Sandhi, and the segmenter. Okay. Yes, P.W. Ralegaonkar, you have a question?
Good evening. In the exam, I have some small suggestion if it is feasible. Exam had that answer was being shown each time whenever we are answering each question, answer was shown.
Yeah, now we will change it. Yes.
I wanted that answer could be changed later on till I submit my paper.
Yeah, sure. We will do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because later on I felt I completed only in 40 minutes. 20 minutes were there. I wanted to change, but I could not change.
Yeah, I will. We have taken care of that, and we will incorporate it this time. In
Thank you.
fact, we are also new to this system, and we are also trying to figure out how to set the question paper.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Papa.
Just a quick question. Will there be any self-evaluations for a
Self-evaluation already.
segmenter? There's only
Uh,
Sandhi, but I don't
oh,
think
okay,
there's
okay.
any questions for the other items like
Yeah.
even Credenta maybe and
Uh,
segmenter, I guess.
Okay, I will answer this last question about the segmenter, how to practice. Well, this was today's exercise. See, we went into the corpus, reading every line, and then in the other window, I was attempting to do the segmentation. Okay, so you can practice yourself on the segmenter using the reader, and you can check that your answer is correct by comparing with what has been stored in the corpus official site. Okay, so this is your self-training for the segmenter.
Madam,
So during the exam, we have to have all these windows open and the exam and go back and forth. Basic question, but last time I had my phone open and jumping back and forth. Thank you.
The way I envision the questions for the exam concerning segmentation is that I will give a few sentences. They will be given both in Devanagari and in AIST, and I will propose 4 segmentation solutions. So you will have just to click and you will get the 4 segmentations, and you will have to choose which one is correct among the 4. So you will not have to go through all kinds of window opening and closing and so on.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. Thank you.
Well, and regarding Krudanta, already we have posted one self-assessment. For Sandhi, several examples were already given, around 40 and 25, if I am correct. 40 for Sandhi and 25 for the consonant Sandhi. And for Krudanta, there is one self-evaluation quiz which was uploaded last week.
Thank you.
Yes, Sanskrit HCU, you have a question?
Madam, can't you give some more time for us to get sufficiently acquainted with this segmenter? I propose the subject may be postponed to the next minor examination. Can you please do it?
Yeah, yes, actually we can. Yeah, this is a good suggestion. What we can do is we will have 2 different examinations, one on this Sandhi and Krudanta, which we will post on 13th. And if you need some more time for segmenter, you can have. And maybe on 15th or 17th, we will post the exam for segmenter.
It's better, madam, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm still at a confused stage as far as this segmenter is concerned, and I require a bit of time more to get myself acquainted with this.
So we will have two minor exams actually now. One minor exam on Krudanta and Sandhi, which we will post maybe today itself. We will post it, and the other one will be posted on 15th. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
On segmenter.
Thank you. Then one more question, madam.
Yes.
And this is the Samsadhini site, which I see on this right now. I'm not able to get big sentences there.
You're not able to get?
Large sentences, big sentences at one stroke.
No.
Why?
If you give very large sentence, then system may get choked. Okay, because there will be exponential solutions.
For example, now 4th sentence in our Katha, now 4th sentence in my Vikramarka Katha.
Yeah.
When I typed it.
No, that one you need to try on segmenter, not on Samsadhani.
And to find out the solution, final solution, Samsadhani, I tried for that.
No. If you try on Samsadhani, you may not get solution for very big sentences.
I think that's all what I want to know.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much.
So this is a good question. This is actually the usefulness of the segmenting interface, is that you can by hand go quickly until you get few solutions. And if you get only few solutions, then the analysis by Samsadhani will succeed and it will find you the right path. Okay?
I did try on segmenter, sir, and then just to confirm my impression, my understanding, I sought the two recourse to Samsadhani too.
Okay, so sir, my suggestion is please send me that sentence and I will get. Okay.
This is the fourth sentence in our Katha.
Fine. I will look at it and then get back to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Parul Nandu, you have a question?
Yeah, namaskar. I just needed to understand, sir, you said the hoisting of the colors gives all the color segmentation for the segmenter, but there are quite a few colors and I'm still kind of lost. For example, the sentence number 13, it is showing some different colors and I still don't get what they stand for.
13 where? In what corpus?
In the hoisting of colors.
Oh. I went fast through the hoisting of colors because some are complex constructions that have not yet been explained by the grammarians of the team. Okay, so this is typical. This one, yes, and this is these are forms of the perfect tense for roots for which it would be awkward to use a reduplicating scheme of the usual perfect. So there is this so-called periphrastic perfect, which you make with a special form, and these are these orange forms that you make as a compound with a tenanta form of one of the auxiliaries. So the auxiliaries are as, to be, bu, to become, or cur, to do, to effect. Okay, so here, this is so-called periphrastic perfect. Awesome. Yeah, periphrastic perfect. Okay, so now if you if we do it again in the conjugation tool as is gonna do. Yes, and I'm going to show it in Devanagari. Okay, so this is root as, and you have all the vibhakti, the tenantas, and then no. Yeah, what root is that? Oh, it's as, it's to sit. See, so what this tangent means is that is sat and is said. Okay, so these are two forms with this periphrastic perfect. So what I'm trying to do is to get it in Devanagari from this as to, sorry about that, with as with long A, and it's and the two. Yes, now we have it. But I want to show it in Devanagari. Okay. Why isn't it showing in Devanagari? Yes. Okay, so you have all the usual tenses, yes. And then you have all the credentas, yes. And now you have the avyaya forms of the root, yes. And here it is, awesome. So it's lit. So lit is perfect, but this is this periphrastic lit form, which is not a standalone form. It's the initial form of a compound that has this awesome as first component, and which has a form of the lit perfect of one of the auxiliaries. So these are like verbal compounds.
Okay.
So here, if I try to, so I did not explain that so far because we did not explain this kind of complex way of doing perfect. So when the grammarians will explain it, then you will understand why this is a special color. It's a special color.
So you also mentioned some lexical categories in which I will find the color schemes. So where will I find those lexical categories?
Okay, let me finish with this explanation here. See, here you have all kinds of suggestions. But if you take the awesome, which is here orange, this is this special lit, then automatically you will get the chakra. There is no choice. So this awesome is not a standalone thing, it's a compounding. That is compounding with Sinanta, and similarly here. Okay, if I click on the asa on the perfect. Oh, sorry. If I click, if I click here on this orange thing, then there will be no choice. It's going to be the perfect of as. Okay, so so please wait until the grammarians explain this construction.
Okay, sir, thank you. And what about the lexical categories, sir? Where will I find that?
Let me see. At the last course, I said, you know, maybe now is the time that you read about the manual. So, so where is the manual? On the top page of the site, it says, please visit the reference manual for learning how to use the various facilities. Okay, so here you have a lot of informations. And some of it I covered in my oral courses, and some of it I did not. So here you will find various information. I'm trying to here you have lexical categories. Okay, so in the manual you have some indications here. The main lexical categories exhibited so far are substantive adjective forms, blue, subanta. Vocative forms are green, sambodhana.
Correct.
Finite verbal form. Sambodhana, they are distinguished from the standard subantas, yes, because they don't play any direct role in the sentence. You know, it's like a theater indication. It's an address. So this is not part of the sentence. And I want to distinguish them carefully because you have some ambiguities with compounding somehow. So they are green. The tinantas are the finite verbal forms and they are red. Now the undeclinable forms such as adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions, they are mauve. So these are the avyayas. The pronominal forms, they are light blue. They are called sarvanama. Sarvanama, they can stand for any nama.
Okay.
And initial part of compounds is yellow. Okay, so here I discuss the most usual ones.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Now I give some more indications about compounding. I indicate avyayi bhavas, how to turn into undeclinable. So you have to understand the colors in order to understand the various kinds of compounding. Okay, so here I come, look, verbal compounds exist, such as the periphrastic perfect construction used for secondary conjugations and nominative verbs. It builds a special stem in arm. So that's what we saw with this as arm. Suffixed by a perfect form of one of the auxiliaries, kri, kar, us, and bu. Okay, so I say try, for instance, amon, trayam, chakre. Here, if you try it, yes. What happened? There. Okay, so Pratyanyaya. Amantrayam chakra. Okay, so this is periphrastic. Periphrastic, it means you have a periphrase. Instead of having one word, you have a little phrase with several words. This is periphrastic. And perfect is past. Amantrayam. So this comes from the nominal construction of mantrayate. Give, talk, tell a mantra, or give an order, and with prefix "a." So here, see in the manual, you have lots of other supplementary information. For instance, another periphrastic construction is the inchoative chvi verbal compound. So I don't think this has been discussed yet in the course, but it will happen in the corpus. So you have this E special forms of the Pradipadika in order to make special compounds. Ridu bhavati, it softens. So you have this ridu special form. Ridu bhavati. Again, some problem. Yes. Okay. So what is mridu? Mridu is soft. Yes. Adjective means soft, delicate, tender. weak, etc. But here we have a compound with Mridu Bhavati, and now it's becoming soft. Okay, this is the linguist says it's inchoative. It talks about something that is being transformed. So it will become softened. So it is becoming soft. It is softening. So these special forms are according to the original Pradipadika, either in E, like this, Kajarti, Karati, or Mridu Bhavati, softened. So these are prefixes to verbs. In the Sanskrit tradition, these are called gati. Gati are special words that act as the preverbs. They give a modified meaning of the verb. Okay, so you see in the manual, you have more indications about all these categories, and how it relates the colors and the categories to the algorithms. This is the algorithm for segmenting. It says a Vakya is obtained from start to accept. And the main part of the diagram explains what is a pada. So you go from you form a pada by going from S to accept, and you get a list of padas in order to get a Vakya by looping with this back loop automaton. So a Vakya is pade, 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 pade. And every pada is explained here. It's either subanta, it's blue, noun, but it could also be a compounding. So you may have several yellow chunks and then it ends with a noun. Yes, it may be a pronoun, it may be a vyaya, or it may be a tinanta, and there are several possibilities. And here this explains why the absolutive may be obtained directly from the root with the toi suffix, or if it has a preverb attached to it, then you must use the liap construction with the ya. Okay, so it's a simplified diagram explaining how the morphology composes in order to make a Vakya. Okay, this is a kind of simple. Once you understand this simplified automaton, then you can graduate to have a more extensive one. This one will possibly use the privative prefixes for consonants or n for vowels. Okay, so now you get more knowledge about these works. But the complete automaton is kind of complex, so don't expect to understand that at first. Yes, you have all kinds of avyayi bhavas coming and so on. Okay, so I did not want to go into all this complexity during the course, but you have almost the full story is told in the manual. Okay, I think we should stop here, and I'll meet you again for the question session tomorrow at the same time of the course.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Professor.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, so yes, PWR.
One small thing, madam. This segmented tool is very good window for us to learn Sanskrit. But real utilization, correct utilization requires knowledge of Sanskrit, by the way. So we require some time. My request is 13th and 20th could be 2 days if it's feasible, or 10 and 17, 18. So 7 days gap after submission date.
Yeah,
so that segment will be learned really.
See, for segmenter, I said on 15th, we will post the question paper. Okay.
But that submission of the 10th
We
exam
will,
will
we
be
will
on
give you
17th.
1 week's time or 10 days, whatever.
Let
Okay.
there not be any overlap. That was the small request. That's all.
No, even if there is a overlap, we will give you 10 days time for each of these. Okay.
Acha, 10 days time. Okay, okay.
Yeah, for each of these submissions, we will give you
Okay.
10 days time.
Okay, that's fine. Earlier you gave 7 days. That's fine.
There was somebody who asked about the fourth sentence. Actually, the problem is in the original sentence, there is Mahati Kale Gacchati. And I'm not sure whether Gacchati is grammatically correct or not. With Gate, according to Panini's rules, whatever we have given to our parser, it works and it shows you complete parse. But if it is Gacchati, because Gacchati is in present tense and Avadit is in past, my parser had problem. Okay. So if it is changed to Gate, it works. This is what just I wanted to tell. And we will be looking at all these things later on from next week onwards. So now I take opportunity to thank Professor Gerard Huet for introducing his tool segmenter, which of course all of you have already praised. You have started using it and you found it very useful.
Yeah.
Next week onwards, we will start, we will go back to Samsadhani again and we will start looking at the parser. So I stop here and tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock, we will be there for discussion session. So good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.